Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.
Cheers, everybody.
You got to keep playing, man.
Always keep playing, man. That's all there is. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Welcome back, Trevor.
Thank you. Yep, wide awake, ready to roll.
Trev 2, Trev 3.
May 1st, 2025, 6:07 specific time.
Time stamped and done.
I'm time stamping it on the West Coast, so there you go.
R2 won't be here tonight. His neighbor's garbage can went flying.
Fell over
his front window. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the trampoline flew over the fence.
We'll catch you next time he gets you.
He tripped and fell down the stairs and got a splinter under his right pinky.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. More importantly, though, I guess the inmates are running the asylum tonight. Ryan's got the night off for stuff he needed to do. So he got the
You know what he's doing, right?
I know exactly what he's doing.
No, no.
Sitting on the fucking couch with fucking cold one. And these guys. Fuck these guys.
I know what Ryan's doing.
Well, good for you.
I'm just sworn to secrecy and cannot tell you.
Fair enough.
Don't give a fuck. There he is.
Ryan in the chat. Oh, he's going to pop in, so we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. Right on, man. Look forward to
In and
seeing
out
him.
of what?
Exactly.
In and out of love. That's your favorite band, dude, Bon Jovi?
Cool, cool.
Ask me what Skid Row thinks of Bon Jovi.
Ask Bon Jovi what they think of Sebastian Bach.
Yeah. He's a funny bird, that one. Alrighty, well, let's do a quick round here for the channel members and say thank you so much for all the support from all our fabulous friends and family here. Keeps the lights on, keeps the show moving forward. So appreciate everybody's support. You too can join if you feel so urged. There on the YouTube page.
If you choose to support us in that manner, it helps
Right.
us with guitar strings and EV muxes and all that stuff.
Exactly.
You guys don't have a string endorsement yet?
Nah. Well, I guess I kind of do, but because I fixed our espresso machine and I get strings, but that's different. It has nothing to do with the show.
Sova, if you're saying that was a perfect John Bon Jovi because I can't fucking sing, you're accurate.
All right, I got to get this chat moving. Let's do a quick roll call.
Do what you got to do,
I can
bud.
see what's going on downstairs there. Of course, we got first in, as usual, Earl Coley. How do you get first? Hope Trevor's feeling better. Feeling better, yeah. I wasn't feeling bad. I just did a little nap roulette. You know, you go to sleep with no alarm set and pretty toasty in the room. It's like 77 outside right now. We're living the dream here.
It's beautiful.
And I didn't wake up until there was like 15 minutes left in the show. I felt bad. I did some push-ups for penance.
And you went back to sleep?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Second guy in the chat here, we've got Chuck C. What's up, Shredders? Happy. Welcome to see you, man. And channel member Cucumber with his $1. I got one of those now. Where do I got that? I believe it's on the page here. Matt
got $1 over here.
Yeah, there we go. And then we got Stephen Franklin, channel member. What's up?
What's up?
Everybody. Welcome in. We got Lee LBRJ, sofa bed, great music, and stamp cup guitar. Cheers, brother, man. We got Kush here. Cheers to Kush, channel member. Jimmy Biter on the panel and channel member. Always good to see Jimmy
Get rid of
here.
that piece of shit.
Jimmy's my friend.
Fuck
I
that
love
guy.
Jimmy. Jimmy's eye. Oh, looky here. We got my brother Kurt.
Oh, you're my boy.
Damn right I am. Damn right I am.
However long it takes me to drive to your house.
I'm gonna slide this chat over to make it bigger, because otherwise you can't tell if Rob Blackmore is a channel member indeed.
How long would it take you to drive to the Puget Sound?
Robbie. I don't know. I bet you I could do it in
Starboard's in the house. Good to see you.
8 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, not that terribly far.
William De Silva, cheers, brother, man.
Yeah, Billiam.
Daniel Berry, sports highlights. Yo, cheers, man.
Daniel Sutton.
Blue Mox is here, and Mrs. Mox. That for us.
How Sugar Pants or what's her name?
Sugar Tush, man.
Brian Peterson.
That was
cheers,
close.
man. Good to see you here.
Hey, Brian.
Right on.
Brian.
Dan, are you ready, Randy? Dan Gorman in the house.
I was not ready.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Randy! Did you get a new camera?
No.
Particularly tasty. No, he's just got actual internet now.
I've not bought a new camera yet. I got to get a USB-C dock. I've only got one USB-C port.
Which is currently occupied by the Roadcaster.
Correct.
Monch is in the house. Cheers, Steve. Hillary's here. Right on. Always good to see Hillary here.
Hey, Hillary.
Hey, Hillary. My
Channel
oldest
member.
friend.
Hillary. Some Dave dude. She's got the
What's up,
popcorn out. And we got
Where's all Dave all night?
fishing. I haven't seen him in a minute.
No, he's I haven't gotten any Instagram shit from him, so he's probably on his little
Sabbatical.
internet sabbatical.
Yeah.
He takes those.
Then he comes back fiercer than ever. So it's all good.
Cheers to Brian from Searching from Tome. Good channel.
Yeah, it is a great channel.
So pissed.
I'd tell me to go get a link, but I'm busy doing stuff. So you guys are going to have to look it up. Searching for Tone. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you can do that while we're jamming.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are moderators too. You guys can
You're the executive producer,
Nah,
I know.
and you've been off for 3 fucking shifts, so we're leaning on you hard
3?
tonight, dude.
I protest. Of course, we got the boss here is keeping an eye on things, make sure we don't go totally off the rails. And we got Eddie Fay in the house. Cheers, brother. Good to see you.
what's up, Eddie?
Eddie.
Christopher Live Silva's in the house.
Mayonnaise.
And we got Pops.
What's up,
Hey, Pops, did you see I did a little thing there for you on the Facebook? I'm sure you've seen it. I haven't gone back to see how it goes.
up,
But
Q?
it's pretty simple to get a new stand on a monitor. Just saying. Visa mount.
Thanks,
The
Kurt.
Yaya endorsement with Gladys Knight and the Pips.
We got scrolling.
No, wasn't it Flock of Seagulls?
They gotta have the big flip-de-doo hairdo, right? Mm-hmm. And we got Canton Rd 55 right on. Cheers. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out, brother.
He has bubes.
Bubes.
And that's it. I
Like
made it to the
Cartman.
bottom of the list. Fuck
Does he have Bob's and Vagine?
Vagine.
Vagine. Here we call it Regina.
And a minge.
Or Virginia, if you're from the States.
Right on. All the chores are done. Now we can have fun. What do you guys want to do? Gonna melt our faces?
I don't know. I showed up, so. Yo!
Pretty good.
Oh, who's here?
Mikey fucking Mojo in the house.
No doubt.
What's up, bro?
Awesome.
No, none of us have that fancy
Channel member, Mike and Mojo.
Well, it was
Trinity.
implied with the new middle name I gave him.
Colorful adjectives.
You want to rock one, boys, or what?
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
We're going to have
That's what
to
we're here
forego
for,
any
right?
trans-trimmingness, but
You might pop in later and give us a little.
yeah. More to come. That's awesome. Excellent. Sounding great, boys. Sounding great.
Yeah, it seems like a good mix. Is it a good mix in everybody's cans or what?
It sounded good here. I mean, Jimmy, after his first round, when he came back the second round, I don't know if he changed something. I had to bring him down just a bump. And then we got
He
back
got
into
confident. He just dug in.
it. It sounded like he clicked the pedal or changed the channel or something. All of a sudden, it was a little bit louder than the track.
He didn't touch shit.
Cheeks! What's up, brother Cheeks?
We got some new folks come up in here. We got
See here, we got.
Cheeks,
I got butt cheeks.
Joe McGraw.
Mean Joe,
Yeah, Mean Joe.
Miles,
Ryan?
6 Finger Assault. Fuck that guy.
Yep.
So where
Down
are we
under.
now? We're at
Oh, Trev, you got a sound effect for that?
For what now?
For 6 Fingered Assault here, Miles? Celebrating
the-
21 months of membership.
Oh, look at that.
Hell
Right
yeah.
on, man. Appreciate it.
What in
Hell
Christ's name
yeah.
is that noise?
That's somebody dropping, playing quarters and missing. Wayne McConnell in the house. What's up, dude?
Cheers, Wayne.
All right, Trev, you can take back over. Sorry.
Tootie
well, you're
Tuesday
finished.
at the Canadian Strip Bar.
Right? With the toonies. We don't have singles. We got $2 coins.
Ow, that hurts.
Cheers. Cheers, Joe. Right? You got to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't tuck in under the strap so well.
No, but they. Anyways, let's just stop right there.
Yep.
No, we did see in there.
Thank you, Kurt.
Randy's tone is one for the bone tonight. That mean you're getting an erection, Kurt?
I think it is.
That's what I bred in there.
So in case anybody's wondering, there is a new module being used tonight.
No, here we go.
That's why. That's what it
Requesting
is.
isolation.
It's a new. Oh, you can't see it.
Well, you just need to.
But we'll just make
talk
you a
about
little
it.
bit bigger so you could.
It's a
need
new
to
module.
stand out.
It's a new module and a different guitar.
Exactly. I was going to say the guitar's got to be a part of this conversation.
There you go. Got the.
Don't say too
Didn't
much. I
even
mean,
notice.
that's
Oh, we're
the
going to save
subject
that.
matter
Never
for
mind. Yeah,
Tuesdays.
put that away.
Take
that
little
off,
teasers for
goddammit.
Tuesdays. You want to know more?
It plays too good to put away right now, so
That's awesome, Randy.
you can get me off the main screen now. Thanks.
Oh, come on. Fair enough. There you go. See, Randy's starting to figure this shit out.
I ran it without you Tuesday until Ryan
Tuesday.
showed up.
Tuesday. I was there, wasn't I? There on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, but you
need
didn't
a
do
Tuesday.
nothing. You don't know how to work none of this.
I provide the backing tracks. That's my.
Right. I fly
Fair
by
enough.
the seat of my pants. And Jimmy,
Well, you
he's
do a
here.
very good job, and Jimmy is a constant.
Jimmy's here to provide us with hate and discontent and
Yep.
good tone.
Just fill up space.
I saw a meme the other day. I think I take a picture of it. The guy was talking to the doctor, and he says, "Is it unusual to have one ball bigger than the other two?" Of course, I immediately thought of Jimmy.
We're getting canceled.
We're past 7 minutes in.
We're
I
all
think that's a myth anyway.
I think so too.
I don't know. I guess if you're monetized, we're not monetized per se, are we? On the show
No
for
ads
ads and
tonight.
Run to
nonsense.
the bunch makes the best swimmers.
Right.
Says in the poll. Anyways, B minor, boys. B minor.
Yes.
Trev's or Lee in chat says, and Blue Mox say, stay away from F sharp. So F sharp, boys.
Oh, quickly say hi in the boat and jam. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming out, man. Much love.
That was awesome, Randy.
I ran out of shit to play.
Could have fooled me.
No, it sounded really good, man. Really good.
The harmonizer part's always excellent.
I just turned it. I was like, I hope this is F sharp.
Cool thing is when you're off 3 times all at once.
Right. Let me click this back 2 notches.
We take it back 2 notches. That was fun.
Very fun.
Very good, very nice. What's going on in the chat? Anything there?
Some banter back and forth. Teddy's here. Sean plays guitar, showed up. Cheers, Sean.
Sean?
Good to see you, man.
On.
Hillary agrees. Total
Hillary's
fire.
setting shit on fire over there.
Joe's got finger envy, I guess we call it.
He says, fuck you, Randy. You're badass. That's what he says.
That was right after the harmonizer part.
You know, I wish I had a quarter for however many times I get told "fuck you" in a single day, and I'd be stupid
retire.
rich. Robbie digging the harmonizer. Rob Blackmore
I'll
loves
PayPal
it.
you a
Quick that
quarter, Randy.
harmonizer on.
Fuck you.
Well, you owe me. You owe me more than that because I think that's the 4th one tonight. Cool.
C-sharp.
Already?
There we go.
Very nice, boys. Very nice.
Yay!
Did you say your yay?
I said, hey, Andy Carson's here.
Andy Carson.
What up, brother?
Channel member Mark Spurgeon is here too. Snuck in, kicking down the door.
Mark.
Very good, very good. What else is shaking? What's new, boys? What did I miss?
We were playing in C sharp minor.
No, when the show I wasn't here. Fucking Guitarsenal. But you're always on pedal, Randy. Just give me a quick.
Or you can do the replay like we suggest to everybody else.
I'm a busy fella.
We talked about what effects you always have on.
Right.
What's like mandatory.
I mean,
So
really,
it
for
pretty
me,
much
it's
just turned
that-
into a really quick rig rundown.
Well, you went over 2
basically.
hours. It's pretty good time slot there. Yeah, for me, in case you're all wondering, it'd be the Strobo Stomp and the SD1.
There you go. My SD1 is always on as well.
Brothers!
What's up, Dory?
Right on.
Dory in the house. Yeah, even with this new module that has a graphic EQ in it, still have the SD1 on.
Now, brings up a question. The difference between a graphic EQ and a parametric EQ? Any? Same thing? Different?
No.
Anyone? Bueller?
Parametric, you can individually, it's a finer detail of EQ where you can boost and cut specific frequencies instead of
Okay.
range.
Okay. I get it. So finer adjustability, if you will.
Right. Jimmy knows more technical things.
Jimmy's smart. He builds stuff. Anyone going to do a solo song so I can go see a man about a horse for a second? Or just Randy could always move the squares around. Randy doesn't play solos anymore. John's busy doing something.
Played
It's
shit
up to you,
Sunday.
Jimmy One
What are you
Kenobi.
talking about, man?
I know, I'm just teasing Randy.
Jimmy, you got something in the pipe, bud? You can say no. Not that pipe. I played that Sunday, Rob.
Look at my internet. Oh, shit. Oh,
Right. So,
Comcast, god damn it.
you don't even have Comcast.
You're going to do that. Keep it that avatar.
Fog
What's
hat.
going on? Jimmy playing something or are we jamming something? Jam something?
Yeah.
B minor, you start it, Jimmy.
So he should probably hit it. Alan Parsons.
that shit the fuck out of here.
And he doesn't have to play on it. Nicely done, John. Nicely played.
I thought that was. I was like, what the? What do we?
Well, you're in the right era, but not quite.
Yeah.
It's Alan Parsons Project.
I think of the old eye in the sky kind of thing.
Exactly. That's the intro to that.
Oh, I can read your mind. That actually, one of the local news stations, I think, used that little clip for their kind of intro.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well done, Jimmy. Though I mean, he tapped it pretty quick on landed on his feet. I'd say.
Yeah, I would have made it shorter if I knew it was only going to be like a minute and 20 seconds.
I didn't know either. I loaded that in a long time ago, and I just saw APP B minor. I was like, what's that? Hit it. See what happens. I think it's like 5 minutes tops.
Excellent. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. You kids take care of yours.
You got anything loaded up there, buddy?
Who, me or Jimmy?
You to jam to. Jimmy don't want to play a song, right? Not particularly.
Yeah, not right now.
Oh, that's fine.
Unless Randy does.
Well, let's do something in A minor then. No?
Okay.
A minor? Is that what you said?
I don't know what this is. So let's.
I didn't think
Try.
Jimmy was allowed around a minor.
I'm a
Oh, that's
coal
Quinn.
miner's daughter. What the fuck are you talking
That's
about?
Quentin.
Oh!
Good
Is this Charday?
You had the opportunity to play a song. Sorry about that, guys. Let's try to play something different, but I should probably remove that one from the roadcast.
Well, I had to explain, like I had to explain to Quentin since he had to call and go, "Hey, Ma!"
Uh-huh.
I dropped my pick,
Is that what it was?
and I was sitting there
doing
I was trying to go all finger picky, and that ain't gonna work.
I was going to say, you going all Kotzen on us or what?
Not even close. More like
That's crazy, man.
3-year-old picking up a Hello Kitty guitar for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind that one.
Okay.
Some
Well,
ambient type shit with that one.
okay. Well, I'll keep it here. I cut it because I thought Randy was just going to fucking mutiny and quit if we kept it going. That wasn't
I
even
wouldn't have muted
halfway
you.
done. What's that, buddy?
I wouldn't have muted you.
I didn't mute you.
You said probably would have muted you and quit.
No, you would have lost your mind and quit. If I said muted,
Bo's
then I'm
here.
sorry.
What's up, Bo?
Brother Bo.
Oh, good to see you, brother. Channel member. Italian man.
Want to try our luck with another A minor?
Okay.
Jimmy's down.
I guess there's a reason why these don't get played very often. So we'll skip that. We'll skip that. What, Jimmy? You ready? Huh? Shut up!
Can I finish?
Go ahead, finish.
Well, I was just making noises, you know, like the old grump I am.
Got a new McDonald's tray a couple days ago.
Nice.
Just polishing a nice sharp edge on the corner. Turn it into a
On the asphalt.
throwing McDonald's tray.
Grind it down on the asphalt. It's like the popsicle sticks when you were a kid and you used to make them into little spears. Shoot them with a rubber band at each other. You kids.
Just made crosses out of them out of popsicle sticks because I was a goddamn vampire.
Make those little
hunter.
triangles.
Let's try E minor, see if that works.
An E minor.
Did you like combine two songs, Randy?
I did.
The Ripper.
The Ripper. Cheers, Tom. See you,
Hey,
man.
dummy.
Yo, bit Tom.
Zap.
Well,
Wicked
Well.
awesome. Wicked awesome. And good night to Andy Carson, who's probably already gone.
he probably is.
What? He ain't working tonight. He said so.
He said he had to go. I guess the steak is ready. I don't know.
Got another fire to put out.
Right.
It is a night
On your
off. I mean,
fretboard.
We sure appreciate it, Tom.
feel better soon,
Hope you
brother.
get feeling better,
Yeah.
man.
Sending you
brother.
love, man.
That bit Tom. He's a hell of a guy.
Brother Tommy. Yeah, he is.
Very good.
All right. Well, what's next?
I don't know. I'm about done myself. I think it's time for a cheeseburger.
Oh no, Gray. McDonald's tray.
No. I got homemade here. Fire up the grill. Do it right.
I had a nice sirloin steak.
Delicious.
Very nice.
It was filling.
It was like a baseball. Medium rare? Rare? Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
medium rare.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, no
Medium
gray.
rare.
No,
I like the baseballs because they get a bit of char around the
Right.
edges, right? You get that.
Oh, we have a question from Darboard. Yeah, just not a lot. It depends on.
It depends.
It depends.
Well, he certainly does for the Dan Gorman riff.
It depends. I use it more on rhythm playing chords and stuff, but on the lead stuff, it depends on the lick and where at on the neck said lick is at. But on a whole, it gets used like 20% of the time playing. I'm from that Gary Moore school of lead guitar playing where he doesn't use his pinky finger. So, yeah. You know, Andy James doesn't use his a whole hell of a lot either. And that dude's just like insane.
A lot of
question.
three finger rippers, man.
Yeah, it's one of the. I wish I would have developed the pinky finger skills when I started playing because now I'm too far gone to try and work on that. So, yeah,
Too far gone.
it's like 20 something years of not using that finger much for lead work. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to get back in the rhythm of. That's one of the main reasons I don't do a lot of like 5-string sweeps and stuff like that because you kind of have to use it for those. I'm good. Even like the big 5-string sweep that I do, I don't use
Just
it.
said doo-doo.
Ka.
But, I use it on that. But as for up here, I just index and ring finger. Something
You
like
got a
that.
very loose spread, Randy.
Yeah,
There's no tightness between your fingers anymore.
not those three anyway.
Gaping fingers.
Well, like you know how they tell you to do finger stretching exercises before when you're learning to
Yeah.
play. You know, one does like the spocker.
No, I
I,
don't do
I,
that shit.
I can do the Spock with my right hand, but I can't.
That's how
can't
mine
do
does the
it.
same thing. It's like, nope. You fucker.
Yeah,
The
I
Nanu
can't.
Nanu.
There's like disconnect or something in there. I don't know. So yeah, like when I try to play and use my pinky, because I'm a thumb over player for most things, it's just like slaps the neck when I try to use it. So. Rob, we got another question. Favorite Jason Hook solo or riff?
Any
Dude,
one of Randy's solos.
that fucking guy.
He's so good.
Right. I was watching his Instagram live the other weekend, and he was just sitting there. They were working on some new flat black stuff, and he was just goofing off playing. And I didn't realize how much he economy picks and hybrid picks a lot of that fast stuff. But yeah, that dude's nuts. I really like, probably on that new Flat Black album, my favorite solo on there is probably Justice Will Be Done, or A Bit of Lightning. If you go with like the Death Punch stuff, which I know there's a lot of hate for Five Finger Death Punch, but I really enjoyed their first album that Jason was in the band, so it'd have been their second album. Oh boy, probably the Solo in War is the answer. It's just fucking blitzkrieg, dude. Just fretboard blitzkrieg. But he plays some tasty licks, and you know, I've stolen a lot of them. So. Next.
Are we gonna keep going? I'm happy to keep going, but I'm gonna take a break. If that's the case.
That means it's time for Jimmy to play a song?
Maybe it is.
No.
I'm going to go get a cheeseburger. And you fellas know how to run the thing and shut it down. So.
Okay.
Yeah, see you later, brother.
I'll
You gonna
bid you
gonna
adieu.
jam one or what?
See
what do
you
wanna do?
on Sunday.
What's almost 11 now? I didn't realize that. It's almost 11 for me. So, I don't
So
know.
shut her down, Trev. Then.
All right. It is.
Oh,
It
no,
is
Randy
almost
can do
closing
that.
time. But if you guys want to go, go.
Yeah, we've been going almost 2 hours. It's all, yeah, it's 10 to 11.
Cheers.
Tires.
Fair enough. Well, I guess do we wrap up and thanks once again all of our fabulous channel members. Bam. Thanks each and every one of you for helping out, supporting us, showing your love for the channel.
Holy Randy. Got pent up frustration from being blocked out with his shitty internet for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's got all the packets coming in now.
That's good, man.
Most of them. Got most of them anyway.
Yeah.
It's very nice to have Randy here. Okay,
Alrighty.
goodbye.
Did we
Whatever.
do the
Fucking
backwards
push-
here. I'm scrolling, looking for where's the backwards song. God damn it! There it is. I got it. All right, everybody, love
man,
you.
Don't
See
play
you soon.
backwards, man. In it on a banger.
What do you want? You pick, Randy. You
In
go
it on a
ahead.
banger. All right, guys. Good night. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with us and watching this circus. We love all of y'all. See y'all
Absolutely.
Sunday. Later.
Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.